Hello, everybody. So, um, I'm continuing my thought now on the violence series, and I thought I will start. I will take another turn on this. So, because my goal with the work that I do is, in short, I call it Terabithiya, which is a place, which is a country within what we call as reality, where all beings, animals, plants, microorganisms, things, the wind and the sky and earth and fire and all the elements and space, all are living in harmony. Such a country exists. And it's a place that is within what we call as reality. It's there inside. You're sort of like staying on the surface. Like we barely are even on the surface of this place called Earth. It's more like it's kind of like the topsoil, but it's more like a flaky thing, kind of living there. And I'm not saying that you go inside the earth, like you dig a hole and go inside the earth. That's not what I'm calling as a country. I'm calling this as a country within what we call as reality. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same. We have the house, we have the sunlight, we have people around. Same thing. You're still on the surface of Earth. But what I'm saying is, there are layers of reality, and as you become more and more aware, the place gets richer and more intricately connected and more beautifully organized. And it's a space where life subsists, where life supports other forms of life and is also supported themselves. And it's a very nurturing, nourishing place that I call Terabithiya. And that's a place that's there for all of us to come home to. That's really where Earth is. That's the Earth to which each of us needs to come and inhabit. We're sort of like the flies that's sort of moving around on the surface. Barely even know that there is so much depth within. There's so much that is not seen. And sometimes some people just they're born, they barely even know anything, they're hardly even connected with anybody, and they just die. That makes no sense. It's such a whoa, it's like you haven't seen anything yet. Okay, so how do I know that? Well, it's the same Earth in which our parents are living. Our ancestors have lived right from the time when life began. As a microorganism, they're also there, and they have died, and yet they are there, not just as memories, but when we walk on this earth, on anywhere, this same place has been walked and breathed and lived by others who came before us. And they haven't really gone anywhere. You can't see them, but their presence is there. How they lived, what they brought forth to life, what values they bring to us. It's not something that you dig into, but something that you can only be in the presence of. And when you are being non-violent, when you're being mindful, when you're being respectful of yourself and where you are, the environment that you are, with whom you are, how you interact, then history, life begins to start speaking with us. And it's not something that you dig into. It's something that you can be in the presence of and be informed by and to inform. And it's, well, that's called mindfulness. That's called living amongst. And that's a way, it's a meditative, it's a prayerful way of living through life, through walking on earth. And that's actually how you come to earth, and not just say that you're kind of lording it, because that doesn't make sense. We didn't just drop from the sky. We emerged from our genes, from our ancestors, from how life has been. We emerged from this. We grew up, we evolved to be human beings, surviving. Our ancestors may have survived, but right now, are we still surviving? Or are we learning how to live amongst all that there is? And even the case that they survived maybe a little, perhaps needs a little examining. That may not have been only survival, that may also have been life evolving through trials and tribulations. And that it was just time for life to evolve into a human being. And the trials that came about of predators and of being predated are part of the challenges from which a better form needed to evolve, or maybe a more thinking form needed to evolve, maybe a more, and now that we are human beings, it's time for a more humane form to evolve. That is not just about not just about the victim and the perpetrator and the rescuer, but a form that would work alongside with, and be with, and create alongside with. A humane being is what I would term them as. And a humane being is definitely more coming to inhabit Terabithiya. So I will leave you with this food for thought, and happy day.